Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another podcast. This week we have a few things ranging from movies all the way to politics. So stick with us. First of all, Nelson, how was your week so far?
Oh, I'm gonna say this every single week whenever we're on this podcast, Logan. I'm just gonna say that. It's always interesting.
Yep,
Not great, not terrible. I'll just say that.
I mean,
How
no
about,
news is
how
good
about,
news, right?
I'd rather it be the exact same than anything else because if it's different, I'm gonna lose my mind.
So, did you finish that group project you were working on?
Yeah, we did. To give you an idea exactly, he fixed the lighting. For some reason, it's like booming bright.
Got the
There we go.
sun in our eyes.
I know, it's crazy. And the what was it? For the group project at least, I want to say I contributed like 70% of it
Oh, jeez.
because they refused to actually put in the effort and do the work, of course.
Yep.
Which that's underwhelming. I talked to my professor about it. She told me, "Well, I'm going to give you credit for the stuff that you do, of course. You'll get points for the stuff that you did work on. So that's nice at least." And but I'm worried about like the overall grade because I do think that we missed a couple of marks on it
Mm.
because it was just me constantly waiting on them to pick up their slack so that way I could continue to work. Only
That
time will
sucks.
tell. If it look, if I didn't do well on it, so be it. That's all right. It's a group project. It's not going to matter in 5 years. So,
Yeah, that's fair. Um, and you'll have we have like tests and homeworks and other things to kind of make it up if you know to kind of balance out the grade.
yeah,
That's good.
there'll be another test in like December. There'll be a test and then a final exam. And the final exam, apparently, some of the questions are going to be based off of the group project. So there's like a study guide group project thing that we had. And yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of worried about it.
You'll do fine. You do
But
well on all the school stuff. Well,
yeah, I suppose.
uh, let's see. I had an exam today, another calculus
Oh, how was
exam.
that?
Uh, it was kind of painful. Not gonna lie. Uh, I spent 2 hours before studying, doing homework questions over and over again, and then the exam when I got it, it was long. It was so long. It was crazy. It was the most questions we've ever had on an exam, and one person got done like halfway through. Either they gave up or they like super genius. I think it's the first option. I think they just gave up and left.
What? I'm sorry, what class was this again?
Calculus 1.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh. They
Uh,
probably gave up halfway through.
yeah. So that was great. But at like literally everybody else stayed until the very end. Like he had to call it and say, "Hey guys, time's up. You gotta turn them in. Finish up your thoughts." That sort of deal. And I finished like 2 minutes before the time was up, but I did not have time to check over anything. So, uh, stupid mistakes are going to be my biggest enemy on this one, and I am kind of prone to making those. So we'll see how it goes. um,
That's what I don't like about exams too, is
I
that
know.
you're put on a time constraint, and I get that for testing and everything, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's a great way of testing your knowledge. I really don't. That's just me
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
I think
I
there are
agree.
better alternatives,
I
at
mean,
least an alternative to it.
there's something to be said for like if you don't know the content, then you don't know the content, right? And there's like at a certain point you're just wasting time. Like you're not going to remember it. It's just not going to happen. But
Yeah.
Like I didn't feel that way on this exam, which was good. Like I went into every question uh thinking, "Oh, I can do this. I remember how to do this cuz I just done it like 20 minutes before." So, uh not too bad in terms of memory skills, but, you know, short on time definitely. So that's always fun.
Yeah.
In terms of the week, like I've been super lazy this week. I haven't wanted to do anything.
I've been
Uh,
trying so hard this week to be lazy.
yeah. You've been
I
keeping
I
busy?
well, mostly work,
Yeah.
homework, and if I have like an hour or two, I'll try to make an excuse to go play Call of Duty, and that's about it.
Yeah.
New season came out,
Oh
so
yeah? Yeah, is that what you want to start with? What do you want to report on that a little bit?
well, I mean, I have Battle.net opened. It
Yeah.
wasn't my intention to bring this up or anything until now, but I guess I could just talk about it real quick.
Sure. What's going on with that?
Let's see. Usually they have on Battle.net here. Let me switch over to my other scene here. Okay. Usually they, especially on Battle.net, they list like, oh, what's new, what's coming out.
Mhm. I know I did see a few ads for it.
Oh,
Um
did you?
yeah. Is it like what's in it?
It's just a new content update. It's just new content and that's about it.
Is it
These
like just skins and stuff or
skins, battle pass, new map. Um, it's now here we go. They introduced what is it? They started the Warzone integration. So when Black Ops 6 Season 1 came out, which is November 14th, they merged Black Ops 6 and Call of Duty Warzone together. So content from Black Ops 6 carried over into Warzone, which is like their main battle royale game mode. But I mean, they do this every single time when a new Call of Duty game comes out, and it seems like on the surface level now, they're trying to balance out the two at this point in terms of content because for the last 4 years for the previous COD iterations, like let's say for example, Modern Warfare 2019, Modern Warfare 2, and Vanguard and Cold War even, a lot of the content was spread too thin
mm.
and most of their focus and attention was in Warzone. So us multiplayer fans kind of got left out, and we were salty boys. We just were. We didn't like it, and take that, mix it in with the skill-based matchmaking. I know I'm beating the dead horse already, but it just doesn't make sense as to why. A new Call of Duty game is going to come out every single year.
Yeah.
So even bother? Why even bother putting so much effort or having so much of an emphasis on the matchmaking itself when the game is going to be dead in less than a year and people are already going to go buy and play the new one? If that makes any sense. To me, it just seems like a waste of time and effort.
Mm.
But for like Warzone, I guess it does make sense to have a little bit of skill based matchmaking, but because it's 150 players, that's going to be a little bit loose in terms of skill level. And they claim that they value connection, but I highly doubt that. But
So they
I
like
mean,
they like revamped the SBMM then a little bit?
well, for Warzone at least, it's a little bit the skill-based matchmaking is a little bit loose because there's 150 players.
Mm.
I'm
I see.
wondering if I can open this up. I would like to. Oh, crud. Learn more. I can't really zoom in for
So
some
have you
reason.
have you got anything out of the new season yet?
So, yeah, I mean, you
Has
can
it
kind of
improved
see
things at
here
all?
there are some improvements. I will say that. There have been some improvements. I've had some luck with a lot of stuff. you can see here for some of the new content, we got 3 multiplayer maps already at launch, so that's
Yeah.
pretty good. I played all 3 of them. Heirloom, which is that strike map, which is the 2v2 and 6v6 variant, those are the really small ones that you and I both played when I was trying to get camo challenges done.
Yeah.
It was a nightmare. I hated that. But I played a little bit of Hideout. I played a little bit of Extraction. I wonder, let me see. I think here's Hideout. So this was a launch map. I wish I could zoom in, but I can't for some reason. I don't know why. Anyways, this map here is it kind of plays out to me at least like a two-lane map. It's medium sized, of course, as you can see here, but I played it for a couple of matches. I know I'm reiterating this, but it plays decent. I actually enjoy it. Let's see here. This map right here, Extraction. I don't know what it is, but I love the aesthetic and the way that this map plays. I've had so much fun on it. I I don't know. I'm at a loss for words, I guess you
Are
could say.
these maps like something you can play all game modes on, or are they just like you know?
You can so you can play them on all types of game modes. So team deathmatch, domination, hardpoint, kill confirmed. Similar to the whole Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2 game
Yeah.
modes that you're familiar with, of course. Yeah, it's compatible with all those game modes. The maps, all the new multiplayer maps that come out for Call of Duty, they're usually catered towards those game modes. They're designed for those types of game modes. One mode may be better than another to play on these maps. Like, I would say Domination plays better on this type of map because you got A flag here, B flag in the middle, C flag here.
Yeah.
You have anchored spawn points, of course. Whereas for Hardpoint, I would say Hardpoint I think would be a little bit too complex. This is a pretty decent sized map, I would say. But the in terms of the way that the map is laid out,
Yeah.
it's kind of difficult to anchor like hardpoint positions. So you have one position probably right here, and the next one's up in this corner, the next one's all the way over here. So it's kind of difficult to balance that out, but overall it does flow and play pretty well. There is a really cool power position. It's this image right here. I wish I could zoom, but anyways, it's this what's it called? It's like a radio tower, I guess you could say, and it's a really it's a nice power position. You get a huge view, and I mean, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. The content is really cool. You got these really nice fire skins going on, and if you want, I could load up into game. That way we could check out the content if you would like, but I
That's up to
mean,
you.
I was only going to briefly talk about it,
Yeah,
but
that's okay. We don't have to.
it's okay. I mean, you get the idea. It's just
Yeah.
new content. This happens every single year for a new Call of Duty game, and I mean,
How often do they release these kind of things?
so this season is supposed to last for I think about 75 days. We have 73
Oh
now
wow.
left. Or sorry, not 73. Yesterday it was 74, now it's 73.
Okay.
So we have a couple months of season 1. So
Wow.
by the end so next year, sometime early next year, that's when season 2 is going to happen,
Okay.
which is kind of long if you think about it. That's a pretty long season, I would say.
Yeah.
But I get it. The developers, they need to have a break, of course. They've been working on this game for over 4 years now at this point. So it to me it makes sense why they would do that. Um Only other thing new in terms of for me at least on this camo grind is I think I mentioned it to you when we were playing last time. I got the one of the hardest rocket launchers gold. It
Yeah.
was
I remember that.
I hated that thing and I still do. So apparently when I got that thing gold, I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard a lot of people saying, yeah, the rocket launcher is bugged ever since like the post patch before season 1 came out. For
Oh.
some reason, the launcher, I guess, it was flying straight through UAVs and counter UAVs. So it made it almost impossible to shoot down. I somehow suffered to at least get 3 kill streaks 10 times for
Wow.
each game. Yeah, it wasn't fun. But now I have to do the dark spine challenge if I want to get dark matter. So I have to get 5 in one game, 3
Oh.
times. So you can imagine. Now, this morning, I woke up at like 5:30 this morning. I don't know why. I just I was up and I thought, you know what? I'll stay up and I'll play. Um, I tried shooting down the UAVs and the counter UAVs, and for some reason, I don't know why, but this time around, I watched a couple of guides and they were saying, "Oh, you need to move while shooting it down so that way the rocket fires straight instead of going all sporadic." And
Huh.
I don't know why I was able to shoot down, I think like 3 in a row,
Wow.
which is great.
Yeah.
So either I got super lucky or they fixed it and they didn't put that in the patch notes. So whatever happened happened. I mean, I'm fine with either or as long as I can get it done cuz I know a lot of people are saying, well, since the new season's coming out, you can just get the DLC weapons dark matter. That way you don't have to worry about doing the launchers. You could skip out on the launchers entirely, but no, I want to suffer and I want people to know that I actually did the grind the right way. I'm
Bragging
not going to.
rights.
Yeah, it is bragging rights. You want to see me with that giant beautiful dark matter rocket launcher on my back.
Yeah, I was. You remember I was watching you play with the gold rocket launcher, and I was like, dude, that thing looks awesome on you.
I know. Here's the thing. It is actually a lot of fun to use
Yeah.
because you just blow people up and it's just stupid chaotic fun. I know a lot of people get salty at that, but I mean, hey, I'm shooting a gold rocket launcher. People know exactly the pain that you have to go through in order to get that gold.
Yeah.
So I'm doing it regardless. I don't care. But I mean, that's pretty much all that's new for in terms of Black Ops 6 at least. Ranked play is going to be coming out sometime soon. I think it's coming out in 6 days. I'm pretty sure 5 or 6 days from now. I'm not going to play ranked because skill-based matchmaking is in the game already. If I wanted to go play ranked, I would go play ranked. If pubs was public matches didn't have that type of matchmaking system.
Hmm.
But anyways, we're also this is pretty cool, and I think we should do this sometimes. I think sometime soon, because um, there is going to be a new zombies map coming out later on in the season. Where is it? It should be here somewhere. But anyways, we're going to get a brand new zombies map to come out in the game. I think sometime probably in mid-December. I would say that's probably the right time frame. I would say for when it would come out. And that way by the time I got dark matter, if you really wanted to, we could play zombies together. I think that'd be
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
Yeah, that'd be
So
great. I've you know, I've played a lot of Garden Warfare, and they have like two game modes that are like zombies, and they were a lot of fun. So, and they're
yeah,
even more fun with friends. So I would be very happy to do that. Yeah.
yeah. Also, I believe there is a third person mode for zombies, so
Oh,
you could
really?
toggle. Yeah, so if you really wanted to, you could probably get that feeling of Garden Warfare if you want. If you want, because I know that's a third person game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much all that's been new for COD, as I know. There's patch notes, of course. I don't know why, for some reason at the moment, the assault rifles are completely bugged. I don't know if they did a hot fix on that just yet, but all the ARs, the base damage, the drop off damage range, it's pitiful.
Mhm.
It's horrible now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Whatever happens, happens, but I know they'll fix it soon.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Well, speaking of new content, this is a good transition into what I
Yeah,
have to talk about.
yeah.
This is not
I'll be done popping
necessarily,
off.
yeah, this is not necessarily brand new. Like, how long did you say it was since this has been announced?
So D23 was 3 months ago.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, it's been a while, but I just heard about this, and also like the next thing up here, Cars 4 just got leaked. So, but I wanted to kind of talk to you about movies and sequels and this specifically. So,
Yeah.
Toy Story 5. We're getting a Toy Story 5. Like most people said we didn't need a Toy Story 4.
I don't
Um
think we did.
yeah, and we already had two sequels before that. So this is like Disney is going the sequel route for sure. Um we have you can see on this image there's an iPad. She's got an iPad or a tablet or a computer in there. I
Okay,
assume,
well,
yeah.
here's what's interesting to me. Look in the background. You see Woody is there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's weird. And in
What
Toy
is
Story
that?
4, he
Spoilerinos.
left. Yeah. Spoilerinos, he left.
Where's Bo Peep?
I know.
Is is this supposed to take place in no, because Forky's there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Forky's here, so it's after Toy Story 4. So I don't know. I'm I am
I'm
not
sure that's
excited.
just concept art. I think that's just concept art.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can tell they're like just paintings or whatever, kind of rough
You know,
ideas.
this is kind of ironic. Okay, because if I'm not mistaken, what is this kind of the whole theming of this movie from D23, if I remember at least, they were talking about the toys are now having a new like battle to face, and it's just like the iPad kids essentially. Isn't that what it is?
Yeah, I
But
think
here's the
so.
thing.
That's what the tablet is.
Those same iPad kids are going to be watching this movie on their
I
iPads.
know.
So
Maybe
it's
maybe they're gonna
ironic.
get lectured hard. I don't know. I can't imagine what this is gonna be. Like, what's
I don't
what's
know.
the story here? Is there any more story to tell in the Toy Story universe? Like, they've already been through like Toy Story 3 is when most people consider, the wrap up to be in
It,
place,
it's
right?
the it's the FNAF 3 good ending. That's what
Yeah,
it is.
exactly. Yeah, and and then they just decided to keep going. Like,
And that's the FNAF 3 bad ending.
I know. Uh, I
I mean, we had Lightyear. That was awful. So,
Yeah. Yeah, 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 I hated that movie. What a
I
garbage
remember
movie.
what was it? Your sister, you, and we just went to the theater on like a Wednesday the week after that movie came out because
Yeah.
I remember Elizabeth, she was excited to actually go see that. I
It
was
it
too. I
was
kind of
right
wanted to
after
see it.
opening weekend, wasn't it?
I think it was.
Yeah.
Nobody was in the theater.
Zero
Nobody.
people.
Nobody was.
There was like maybe one other family or something, but that was it.
I know.
It was
We were
crazy.
we were just laughing the whole time.
I know, we it was kind of nice cuz we had the whole theater to ourselves and we could just laugh at how terrible the movie was, but like what a disaster.
I paid for the tickets. We went in and
Yep.
we just walked into the theater and I'm like, guys, I think they have to scan the tickets. So I had to
Yeah.
go all the way back out
Yeah.
and say, did you guys need to scan our tickets? Oh yeah, we do. So we could have just watched it for free.
I
They
know, we
didn't
could have
care.
just waltzed right in.
They didn't care.
No, yeah. It was kind of weird. Like and the late wasn't there was a lady on duty, wasn't there?
There was.
So strange. But yeah, I
It was strange.
I don't like the direction Disney's going. All these sequels, all these live action remakes.
I know, but you got well, another thing too, I know a lot of people cry about a sequel after a sequel after a sequel, but and they cry for originality, but
Yeah.
when Disney comes out with something original,
Yeah.
it just sucks. It's not even good. Like Strange
I
World,
know. I know, it's so
it's not
sad.
appealing. It's just not. I'm
Yeah.
look, only thing that I'm looking forward to, the only things that I'm looking forward to for in terms of sequels from Disney and Pixar, Incredibles 3 and Cars 4. That's it.
Did you like Cars 3?
I thought it was a good send off.
Uh I didn't like it.
I thought it was all right.
I guess
Cars
we
1,
can just like bring that up. Like Cars 4 was leaked. This is a Veil Skibum video. And it says Cars 4 has accidentally been revealed thanks to a survey at a recent Disney Expo. While Cars 3 perfectly wrapped up Lightning McQueen's story and Cars on the Road felt like a solid dessert, how can Pixar realistically continue the franchise? Will Cars 4 be any good?
It'll be about climate change.
Carros Cuatro. Yeah, it's gonna be about climate change.
Yeah, but that's what All in All was for Cars 2,
Yeah,
the alternative fuel.
yeah. So, I understand like what you're saying about people ragging on sequels, but like, when are we gonna get some legit creativity? Like, they haven't produced anything that's good and original for the longest time. Like, and
I,
the,
I
and
will
even the sequels are garbage.
I will say this, the only original franchise that I liked, I watched it kind of recently. I know it got a really bad rep, but I thought it was a heartwarming story to watch. I'd recommend it for those who are curious about it. Elementals.
Really,
I ac- I actually liked it.
that's
I
surprising.
mean, you could argue that, I was watching it with my girlfriend and everything, so it was kind of heartfelt and everything, but we poked fun at it at first. We were making fun of it because of
Yeah.
the animation,
Uh
but
huh.
as we continued to watch it, we were like, "Wow, I actually like this. It wasn't bad. It I don't think it deserved the hate that it got. It's based off of a true story, but it's in an art form, and that was the art style that they went. But I really do think, to some extent, for the theming of that movie, for what they used, which was just elements like earth, water, fire, that type of thing.
Yeah.
I You could have just changed it to real people, and I think it still would have been a really good. I think it would have been a decent movie.
Mm. Interesting.
So I, I get that they were trying to go with something unique, like the elements and everything, to make it. What's the best way of putting it?
Unique.
Well, that, and then if the theme was different, the story wouldn't change all that much. Does that make sense? Like, if you changed it to actual real life people, the story wouldn't change.
Mm.
So,
So it's
I
just
mean,
kind of like a little extra something or other.
they did that to add a little bit of extra bells and whistles, I would say, to,
Yeah.
spice things up, I
Maybe they
guess.
were trying to show off their animation skills.
And there were actually some good scenes in that movie that I think that did look visually appealing. One of the things, I don't like sand, but um the for some reason the sand, like the beaches in
Yep.
that movie, were really good. And then
Oh.
you cut to like the water cartoon stuff, and it's hard. The contrast is a little bit rough, I would say.
Hmm.
But
Interesting.
I liked the story. I thought it wasn't bad, and it it's based off of the theming of Asian migrants moving to a different country, like America, for example, and they hold high standards for their children because, they worked hard to move to America to live a better life,
Yeah.
and they expect their children to uphold their standards, and their children are peer pressured to becoming doctors, lawyers, when in actuality their children, probably, they just want to do something that they want to enjoy,
Mm.
and not feel forced into doing something that they don't want. Granted, I'm not Asian, but I think that was pretty much, the story was based off of that theme specifically. It was inspired by that type of, I wouldn't call it a stereotype or anything, but it well, I think it is a
It's kind of
well,
a cultural.
it's a cultural thing, I
Yeah.
would say.
Mm.
But I know I'm getting off topic. I keep
No,
yapping,
no, no,
but
no. That's interesting. Didn't that movie bomb?
it did bomb.
Yeah.
To my own knowledge, it did bomb.
Well, you're making me want to watch it.
I would recommend watching it.
Yeah.
Um, it's a heartwarming story, I would say,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think it to me at least, it doesn't really shy away all that much from, I guess, like the harsh realities of the world, if you will. Like it's not dark, but it does touch on real world themes, I would say.
Yeah, interesting.
Kind of like Zootopia, which, oh my
Oh
gosh,
yeah.
that reminds me. Oh gosh, no. We don't need another one.
Oh yeah, we're
No.
getting another one of those too.
We don't, no,
And
no, we
Moana
don't.
2 also.
Uh-uh. Uh-uh. I don't want that.
Dude, this is the era of Disney sequels. Like, I don't think they're capable of making original content anymore. Because everything original that they made in the last several years has completely bombed.
No, it's been bad.
Like, what do you think? What do you think's the problem? Because
I think
a lot
it's,
of people say it's the woke stuff, right? Like,
well, there's that argument, but I think it's complacency.
yeah,
I think that can apply to video games, for example. I don't want to get off topic, but I think it's similar to that complacency.
what do you mean by that
And
exactly? Like, what?
like there's no real desire to innovate, I would
Yeah,
say.
maybe. Yeah.
Maybe we, well, there, I feel as if we've hit a plateau when it comes to this type of media. Like there's no next step in terms of animation or anything. I know Avatar is an exception because James Gunn, or not James Gunn, James Cameron is really good at making flashy CGI movies and everything and showing off his work.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't really have any more breakthroughs, I would say.
Yeah.
Like the reason why The Incredibles was popular was because doing CGI,
Yeah.
like, or not CGI, well, it is CGI, sorry.
Yeah.
Creating a 3D art video out
Right.
of people it's tough.
It
It's
was a
really
substantial
difficult.
advancement.
It, so it forced Pixar to get creative and create a unique art style that's appealing to everyone and doesn't look ugly like Andy from Toy Story 1. Sure, the animation then was, it was passable. It was
it,
good at the
well, it
time.
was cutting edge also.
It was cutting edge.
Yeah.
But now it's aged like milk.
Yeah.
so
Yeah. You know, that kind of
so
reminded me of something. Like, I was watching a video about um, how people have lived in the past, and it's kind of a cyclical thing. Um,
yeah.
in the 1800s, people basically lived how they did in the 1700s and in the 1600s. Like, no major advancements in technology had been made, so they were just kind of doing horses and all the stuff that they had been doing. And then the 1900s come along, and you have major technological innovations. Like, you've got factories popping up everywhere. You've got cars. You've got all this stuff and all this innovation. And then we worked up to where we are now, and the innovation has kind of plateaued. And I think it's kind of the same thing probably with movies, like and basically all forms of media that we currently have, where we've kind of reached the peak of or the point of diminishing returns, right? We talked about this with gaming.
Mhm.
Um, to get an increase in visual fidelity, you have to really amp up the power usage, and it's almost not worth making those improvements because it's hardly noticeable anyway. But yeah, that's kind of interesting. Like, I suppose it's just we've gotten to the point where the innovations that we make are increasingly small. Um, so yeah,
And I blame Kathleen Kennedy
yeah,
a lot. I think part of it is her fault as well.
yeah, and also like money, right? Um, they there are laws in place where these studios can just like cancel projects and default so they don't have to pay taxes or whatever on them. Like, stuff like that is counterproductive. That and the there's like kind of a lack of competition in the space too. I mean, you have DreamWorks and Disney, but they're kind of like doing their own thing. They're not
DreamWorks
directly competing.
DreamWorks is like the only, well, I like to think that DreamWorks is kind of competing, but DreamWorks has had their own fiasco and everything in regards to a lot of movies for sequels.
Yeah.
Like the new Puss in Boots movie, I did actually enjoy that. I thought it was
Yeah.
good. I
Yeah.
loved it. But I mean, Kung Fu Panda 4,
Yeah.
I don't have a desire to watch it. And plus, here's another thing too. I didn't even know it came out in theaters. I didn't see any advertisements or
Didn't we
anything
watch
for
it
it.
in theaters?
I didn't watch it with you in theaters.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I know I didn't. I didn't even
Hmm.
know it came out in theaters.
Are you
I think you're
sure?
thinking I'm I think you're thinking of a different movie.
Maybe. We did watch a lot of movies that year.
We did. We did, but I'm pretty sure we didn't watch Kung Fu Panda
Oh,
4.
definitely not. I haven't watched that one yet. Um,
That's what I was talking about.
but yeah, yeah. DreamWorks, like they have a cycle. They cook and then they don't cook. Like they make absolute bangers and they make absolute flops, and then they keep doing it over and over and over again. They don't have banger after banger. That's not how they do it.
Was the good guys actually, or the bad guys actually good or not? Did you watch that?
Um, I haven't watched it all the way through. My sister has. She says it's kind of mid, but it was really popular
It's
with the kids.
mid.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll have to give it a watch. It looks pretty cool.
yeah. The animation style is cool, but like other than that, I've heard it's just kind of meh. But
You
yeah,
could probably make that same argument for the elementals, but I think since I'm in a relationship with my girlfriend, I think it was a little bit different for us. We viewed it differently.
you've been softened up a
So
little bit there.
I I guess so. Probably. I wouldn't be surprised if yeah.
Yeah, but like, I just the money thing, the money thing. It's just it's painful
Hey,
to see the.
they're turning into Rockstar, I'll tell you that.
I know the movie industry is just not it. I mean, it's getting a little bit better, in recent history. Like 2023 and prior was kind of a disaster. Like let's see, like 2019 to 2023, those were like really awful years for movies. And
Well, 2019, I would say, in terms of Marvel movies,
oh yeah,
2019, 2021, I believe.
when did
I don't.
Endgame come out?
So Endgame came out in 2019, and
Yeah,
then the sequel, the second Spider-Man movie for the MCU, also came out. Tom Holland's second Spider-Man movie came out,
yeah.
and then afterwards we got No Way Home. I don't remember what year that was. I think it was 2021.
Is
I'm
that the
pretty
one with
sure.
all three guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was good. I think those were good
I
movies.
mean, there were some hits during that
There's
time, but the
I would
vast
say there's
majority.
some I would say there was some in terms of, you could say, the superhero era,
Yeah.
for the superhero stuff, there was some decent stuff, but
Well, it peaked
I
and then it
mean,
had a hard fall off.
it had a hard fall, and I think part of that was, I know you like low key season 1 and season 2. I know you like that. That's surprising to me, but I never watched it. The only Marvel shows that I watched after post Endgame was WandaVision
Mm.
and Captain America, or the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's about it. I stopped watching after that entirely. I
Yeah.
just didn't have time. I don't have time to dedicate hours. Granted, call me a hypocrite, but I don't have time to dedicate hours to just a show. But I have hours to dedicate to Call of Duty. That's more important. Anyways,
I mean, uh, I don't know. I guess we can move on because I'm just disappointed in the movie industry for the most part. Like, I think there's a massive lack of creativity. All the wrong people are sitting at the top. They're focused on making money and not on innovating and creativity, and it's just kind of a mess.
yeah, there is it's coming out this December. I forgot what the movie was called, but it's based off of it surrounds, or it's in the world of the Lord of the Rings. It's an anime, and it
Hmm.
actually looks really cool. I actually kind of wanted to go see it with Maya. I don't remember what it was called, but it's a Lord of the Rings anime, but
Yeah.
it's it's not like a recapturing of the movies, it's just in that world or in that universe.
Mm.
I'm a sucker for the Lord of the Rings. I will gladly spend 12 hours of my life. Look,
Didn't
each
you watch the supercut thing?
we did. My mom and I, we watched the whole entire supercut. We had to take breaks. We had to. It was bad, but we loved it.
How long was it?
Watching so each movie is about 4 hours long.
Oh my
It was
gosh.
great though. I loved it. It was awesome. Talking about it just makes me wanna go watch it again.
Oh
I
man.
love I love those movies to death. My favorite one has to be Return of the King. I would say Return of the King is my favorite one.
Yeah.
Two Towers, they're all good. They're all great movies, but Percy Jackson, what a guy.
The first time I was exposed to anything related to the Lord of the Rings was when I went over to your house and watched The Hobbit right when it came out on DVD or Blu-ray or
The
something.
Desolation of Smaug.
Yep.
I
Uh,
yeah, it's I mean, those are great movies. I don't know. I can't say anything about the Lego games. I played a little bit of Shadow of Mordor. I need to replay it, but those are
I
all
played Lego
those are
Lord of
good.
the Rings and Lego The Hobbit, and I didn't like either one.
You didn't like either one. You preferred
They're so
what?
boring. I mean, the world building's kind of cool, but like the actual gameplay is like, this is so tedious.
Your favorite ones? If I'm not mistaken, it's Lego Star Wars 3. Yeah. What's second? Harry Potter.
Um,
Years 1 through 4, 5 through 7. Which one?
yeah, those are both kind of equal for me. I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. Like, I didn't play that much of the complete saga when I was little, so I don't have a ton of experience with that game, and I'm sure I would like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably Lego Star Wars 3 is just a fantastic game, and I love it. And it has everything that you would want in a Lego game, I think, and the gameplay it never gets old. So definitely that one is my favorite. But yeah, it's definitely between the Harry Potter ones for second place. I'm just not sure which one because they're kind of. I mean, each one has benefits and downsides. So.
Oh, but what was it? Lego Batman 2.
Oh yeah, but I haven't played that one for a long time. The gameplay kind of gets old after a while, but the music is where it's at because it's
Yeah.
just the what is
Da,
it?
da,
What's it?
da, 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 da.
Yeah, what?
That one.
Yeah, what movie is
It's
that?
it's from Tim Burton's
Tim
Batman
Burton. Yeah, Tim Burton. Yeah,
with Michael Keaton.
I know. Oh, I want to watch that movie. That's a movie I really want to watch.
I'm
And
Batman.
that one and Liar Liar. Those are the two movies that I haven't watched that I really want to.
There was another one I think. I don't know if it was made by Tim Burton. It's called The Mask. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, we got to watch all
Is that
these.
Jim Carrey?
Yeah,
I
we
think
got to
that's
watch
Jim
all these
Carrey.
Jim Carrey movies. Yeah. Yeah, The Mask. Yeah, that was it.
I heard that one was good. I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either, but I'd like to.
Maya told me it was good.
Ooh.
So,
We're gonna have to watch these movies sometime.
I know we have to. My mom, she was telling me, you guys should watch movies and review them. You should also uh something along those lines.
Well,
That's
we're
what she said.
obviously very good at talking about movies, considering we only, managed to talk about Toy Story 5 for a couple seconds.
I know. Well, dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't watching that. I'm not going to theaters to watch it. I'll watch it when it comes out on Disney Plus.
That's the thing. That's the thing about it. Like, why would you go to the theater and watch it when you can just watch it on Disney Plus? Like,
Eventually, yeah.
it doesn't make any sense.
Well, what is it? Deadpool and Wolverine. I enjoyed that movie. I
I want
thought
to
it was
watch that one
great.
too.
I will say this. There's a little bit of cussing.
I
I'll
know.
see
Yeah.
that. A little bit of F words.
Yeah.
A little bit of inappropriate jokes. It's probably something
No
that
surprises there.
I know, but um I that was the only Marvel movie that I was looking forward to this year, and I wasn't disappointed. I don't know why a lot of the critics they were saying, "Oh, this is the weakest performing one out of all of them," and
Really?
I was thinking, dude, the marketing was great.
Yeah.
Everything surrounding that movie was great. I
I
loved
think it
it.
was a
They could have
financial
done it.
success too.
I think it was too. Yeah. What did it make? Like 900 million
Yeah, it
opening
was
weekend or
big, and they
something?
didn't spend that much money on it because Ryan Reynolds
Most of the
wanted to keep
budget,
the budget down.
yeah, because it forced them to get creative.
Yeah, that's
Because
cool. See, that's part of the problem with modern movies. The budget is
I
so
know,
massive that they don't care to innovate at all. There's no reason to if you have a massive budget that you can waste.
I'm pretty sure they put the majority of the budget into marketing. I think that's what they did for
Yeah,
the most part.
yeah.
And I mean, you got the Xbox controllers, the popcorn
That's
buckets.
so cool, dude.
It was cool. It was really cool.
The
Um,
butt controller, the
the
cheeky
butt
butt
controller. Yeah.
controller.
Um,
Hang on, I gotta pull
the
up a picture of that.
yeah.
Um,
But
cheeky.
what was it? Deadpool 1, I believe, had a budget of 50 million and it was a financial success. And that was under Fox. Fox originally did not want to make the movie, but a CGI like demonstration of like a pre-made movie got leaked and they approved it. So
Check this out, dude. They got the Wolverine booty controller.
Maya told Maya told me that if I see you with that thing, I'm gonna leave you.
Oh,
I'm not getting it. There's no point. I'm good.
dude. This
I
is.
already have the game. I have the game, by the way, and it's now worth like $400 to $500.
Oh, man. That's whack. Dude.
I have the PS4 and the 360 version.
Oh, man. Well, do you want to move on? I actually
Yeah,
have the
if you
next thing.
if you want, sure.
Um, so this is coming on tonight. I don't know if you've heard at all about this. It's Mike
Yeah,
Tyson versus Logan Paul or Jake Paul. Jake
I
Paul.
have. I have.
First of all, I want to ask you: are you invested in this at all?
Not really.
Neither am
I'm
I.
just not. I'm not really invested. I've heard about it, and to be honest with you, I really don't care. All I know is Tyson is hard as nails,
Yeah, he
and
is.
Tyson has Donald Trump's back. I know that.
Yeah,
Because he was there for him when what was it, those allegations of, I think it was sexual assault was going on with them or something. I may be wrong on that, but there was some allegations that were happening in like the late 80s, early 90s, and Donald Trump was there for him. He was like the only one that was there for him, and pretty much I guess that loyalty comes into play, I guess, for that in terms of
yeah.
them being friends. But anyways, I digress. I'm going down the rabbit hole again. But in terms of this, like I said, I'm not all that interested. I don't really care.
There
Who
are
would
two
I like
important
to?
questions, though. There are two
Who would
important
I?
questions. Um, Number one is who do you think's gonna win? Because I like you said Mike Tyson's tough as nails, and he really is. What is he like 58 or 59 now, and he looks like that. Like what? That's pretty insane. And he was a superstar back in the day. Obviously, it had like Mike Tyson's Punch Out, the video game. So I
I think
I don't know.
who, who would I like to win instead of who's going to win?
Yeah,
Who would I like to win? I think Tyson. I would like Tyson to win.
yeah. I mean, they're both kind of like not great people,
They aren't.
but
Well, in terms of character, I would say Jake Paul is probably worse than Tyson.
yeah, maybe a little bit. Yeah. Um, but I mean, you got to respect them for putting so much effort in because they have to make their bodies look like that. That's pretty insane. Like they both
Yeah,
look amazing.
I don't stack up with that. So
No, I don't think I could ever do that.
I
Like, I
can't
would
do that.
probably just die.
And I don't really watch boxing all that much. The only type of boxing that I do watch is the MMA UFC fights, and that's about it.
Mm.
And here's the thing, I don't really have that much knowledge about any of the cards or the titles or anything like that. I just like to watch them fight, and that's it. Like watch the newbies, the newcomers try to earn the title. I think that's really cool. Try to earn a contract.
Yeah,
I do think that's pretty cool.
interesting.
Um, I know some of the fighters. There's Usman. There's also, oh my gosh, what's his name? Colby Covington.
Yeah.
He's kind of cool. There, I think Colby Covington's in the welterweight, which is like the middle class weight, or it's like 145 to 155 pounds around there, around that range. And then you have lightweight, and then you also have heavyweight, which is like 200 plus pounds.
Mm-hmm.
There's different weight classes, and
Yeah.
I think it's really cool that so far, at least, the reason why I guess MMA fighting is a lot more popular than regular boxing is MMA fights. If I'm not mistaken, under the UFC, there hasn't been any deaths.
Yeah, they're a lot
Whereas,
less dangerous.
whereas boxing, there's a lot more deaths when it comes to that.
Yeah. Well, and
So
you watch these guys have at it, and it's like, this is dangerous. I would die in a single punch if these guys got me in the head. That would be really bad. And they're all bleeding and stuff. Like, this is the real deal.
yeah,
Uh, I I I don't know who would win. I really don't, because like Mike Tyson, he's a seasoned guy. He's been doing this forever.
yeah,
But like Jake Paul is so much younger,
he is.
and
He's
youth
a lot
really
younger.
plays a big, it's a big factor in this sort of thing.
He went
So
from Disney Channel to this.
I know. Yeah, I
What
just wanted to
happened?
bring it up because my dad's watching it in the other room.
Oh, he is. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm surprised he's watching it.
I mean, I think he's kind of a like he's kind of a fan of Mike Tyson, and everybody, the optics are that Jake Paul is kind of this punk that's coming up against the real deal Mike Tyson. Like he's doing the final boss fight in the video game right now. That's what's happening. Uh, but like they had like 4 fights before they started this. Like you have to wait. They had the start time, and then you have to wait for the 4 fights. Like so they get the extra watch time. So I bet Netflix is making bank off of this, and I think my dad said that each person, like Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, both have like the opportunity to make $40 million from this or something.
Do you think it's rigged?
I don't know. I don't know. It maybe I like scripted. I'm not sure. I
I
can't imagine
wonder.
it is. Right? Like this is a big thing. So and it's like high publicity. Like I was working with some of the younger kids on Wednesday nights, and they were talking about this a lot. They're like, I can't wait to see the fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. And I was like, do you guys even know who Mike Tyson is? Like, yeah, they're sixth graders now, so yeah. I guess I don't know. It's kind
I
of
guess
it's
they
kind of
do.
hype, right? It's kind of cool, kind of interesting.
So what year were they born in? Like 2020?
Uh 2010s, I think.
No, because my brother Luke was born in 2010. He's in high school now. He's a
Yeah.
freshman. So
Um
what? 2015,
that's ninth
twenty
grade. So 3 years, so like 2013, I think. Yeah. That's crazy to think
Sheesh.
about. Like
Man,
that's
I suck at math. Anyways,
yeah. So I mean, yeah, kind of crazy fight stuff. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say about that. I really don't know who's gonna win. I mean, I think Jake Paul's gonna win, but I don't
who
know.
would you like to win?
I would kind of
Tyson?
I'd kind of rather Mike Tyson win.
Yeah.
The old guy
This is
prove
the
himself.
strangest timeline. I'm just gonna say
I
that.
know, this year's so strange. Like, the
We've
election
had
and
some
then
good,
this.
we've had some good, we've had some bad, I
Yeah.
would say.
The next thing I wanted to show you is gaming related. It's Xbox. This is kind of interesting, and everybody is super angry about this. They have uh, this is an Xbox. This is an Xbox. This is an Xbox. Everything is an Xbox. So they're going fully multi-platform. The
So
computer,
in terms of like streaming or
um, Game Pass, PC Game Pass, Game Pass Ultimate, like all Game Pass is going to be supported. Basically on all of these devices. So you'll be able to
through
play.
stream or
Some of them are streaming. Like they said, the TV is an Xbox by itself. That's streaming. Game Pass, Ultimate, cloud gaming. Um, and then the phone obviously is going to be streaming. You can stream from your console directly, or you can stream from their servers or whatever. Then you've got like PC Game Pass for the laptop and the handheld. The what is this? An ROG, Asus
yeah,
ROG.
what was the previous handheld? I'm curious about the last one, the other one that the girl was holding. Man,
This
I'm
one.
voice cracking tonight like crazy.
I think this is either
That's not a Steam Deck. That's got to be an
no.
ROG Ally, no?
Yeah, I
Or
think
a
it's an
Lenovo?
Ally, or maybe it's an MSI Claw. I'm not sure. This
Hmm.
is definitely an Ally.
That's an
This
Ally.
is an
Yeah.
Ally. This is a Backbone, I think.
Yeah, that's
They got the phone on the controller. Yeah, a lot of people are really unhappy about this. Like they don't like the idea of the multi-platform thing because they think they're gonna lead. They think that this is going to be the end for the console. Like the console's gonna
why.
go away.
Oh, I see. Instead of just having it native?
Yeah, so they're saying, oh, they're not gonna make hardware anymore. They're just gonna be a service where they,
But it's a
sell all their
huge
games.
money maker.
I know, like the the console is cheaper than every other thing that you see on this screen.
Yeah. I mean, granted, I've actually been looking at a couple of ROG allies. I know it's not supported as much as the Steam Deck, but
Yeah,
I
a
would
lot of
really
people
like
like
to
them.
have I would really like to have native Windows support.
I know. Well, I'm still hoping that Steam is going to, make some more advancements with Proton, so we can get to the point where
I
we
know,
can,
because the biggest problem that I have right now with all these games on Steam, at least with Proton specifically,
yeah,
is that they're not. It's the anti-cheat.
yeah, yep,
I just wish that there was something that if you want to play this game with that has this type of anti-cheat, you need to have this version of Proton. Otherwise, you're not going to be allowed to play it.
yeah,
Just something that forces me to download a file or something so that way I could play it. And I don't have to worry about getting banned because I'm using Linux.
right,
That, or if Valve could do a complete 180 and whatever their next Steam Deck is going to be, I'm sure it's going to run off of Linux, of course, but it would be nice to just have that dual compatibility between Windows and Linux. I don't
mm,
know, but
right. We
only
both have
time will tell.
Steam Decks, but I think I would play on it 1,000% more if the anti-cheat software didn't get in the way of me playing the games I want to play.
I know,
It's
because here I would play Call of Duty. I would
yeah,
play Call of Duty on my Steam
100%.
Deck, but the problem is of Ricochet anti-cheat
Yeah,
and easy anti-cheat for a lot of these games.
right. Yeah, most people say, "Oh, it's not a big deal because it's only a select few games." It's like the biggest games that you can play. The ones that everybody plays are the ones that don't work on Steam Deck. So I feel
I
like
know.
they really need to sort that out, or maybe they just like partner with Xbox, because that would be really cool.
Yeah, because what was it? Valve, or Gabe Newell, he came out in support of the acquisition of Activision Blizzard. He said, "Well, we stand with you guys. We're right there by you. We're there to support you guys." Something along those lines. We're willing to work with Phil Spencer in the future of Xbox and Activision Blizzard. I'm hoping, I really do. I hope that I would love to see Call of Duty get ported to Steam OS. I think that
Yeah,
would be great.
100%. Blessed be Lord Gaben.
Please, Gaben, please.
Yeah, but as for this, like I don't really care.
I
I
don't
I don't
either.
see it being a problem. Like
I don't either.
people are so up in arms about it going multi-platform. They say, "Oh no, we're never gonna see another Xbox console," and they don't even care about us having another Xbox console. The people that complain about this, they're the kind of people that want a Sony monopoly and Sony's better and blah 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 blah. PS5, whatever. They don't they don't
Yeah.
they don't play Xbox. They don't care about Xbox. They only like to complain about Xbox. Um, like I can see how it might threaten console sales, but like because of course you have a phone, of course some people have laptops and most people have TVs that they can play on, but it's not going to, like, at least right now, it's not going to rival the experience you get on a console running the games natively. So will Call of Duty Black Ops 6 be playable on Steam Deck? Yeah, I don't know. I I I want an Xbox partnership with Steam Deck so that we can, get some good games, some better games running on the Steam Deck, cuz I would absolutely play on it way more if the games that I have that have anti-cheat were playable on there. Um so and like they've got, I don't know, I think that's a claw there on this screen. So obviously they're willing,
Called
and they've talked
Orange
about
Claw.
handheld gaming as well. Yeah, MSI Claw. Yeah, I think it's Intel powered.
That doesn't look like it. Is that
Uh,
it? That might be it. I may be wrong.
I think it's RGB around the sticks, so maybe you can change the color.
Let me see. No, the ergonomics look a little different.
Maybe it is something else. Maybe it's the
That
Ally
looks like
2.
that looks like an ally.
Maybe it is.
There's an ally too?
Yeah, there are two revisions, I think. Or it's not an, yeah, maybe it's an Ally X. Cuz they did a revision, a new one.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That looks
That's what it
beautiful.
is. Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice, like, handheld, but of course it's still Asus and it's a third party and it's still a Windows device, and Windows isn't the best with touch.
Yeah, but you need Windows in order to play a
Yeah.
lot of these games.
So I think
What's the
I think
price
this is a
point?
good thing, especially for like Ally users. You could just get PC Game Pass or buy your games on the Xbox store, and you get the nice interface, the user interface. You don't have to deal with Windows as much. And obviously, like the Steam interface is much nicer than it used to be for handheld gaming because of the Steam Deck. So definitely improvements in terms of handheld gaming. And I know I think Xbox did confirm that they're
Oh,
going to be making a gaming handheld, which is going to be nice.
I see.
$800. Yeah, that's pretty rough.
Well, it makes sense because of the
That's
hardware that
probably a
comes
base
with.
model also.
This is the how can I pick the different model?
I don't know.
This is like the only one that I see here.
Well, it is more expensive regardless than a Steam Deck. And Steam Deck is kind of the standard, but it sucks that it's It's Linux and the support's just not there.
I know. You could theoretically, if you really wanted to, you could do a dual boot install. You
Sure,
could,
yeah.
but
I don't
then
think
you
there's
would have
official support for that yet, though. I think they were going
to.
to support dual booting officially, and they just haven't yet. So, and also like it's, I mean, the OLED looks nice, like the
two
Steam Deck OLED.
terabytes of storage.
Ooh, that's good.
So this one has, let's see here,
1 TB.
1 terabyte, but it said up to 2 terabytes of storage. Now, where can I select the other one? So here's the Ally. Wow, it dropped in price significantly.
Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, especially if you're gonna play or use it to play cloud games only, that could be
I,
good.
but I, but this has 120 hertz refresh rate at 1080p.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing. For me at least, if I were to get one of these, I look, let's be real here, Logan. I may actually get one of these for some reason. I don't know why,
Because
but
you like spending money.
we all do. We all like spending money. Money, money, money.
Yes, as
But
always.
um I would be running most of my AAA games at low settings at like 720, 900p,
Yeah.
just so that way I could get that buttery smooth 120 FPS.
We're still in the early days, I think, of handheld gaming PCs. I'm excited to see what the future holds, but you know,
Yeah, but I think this is good enough. Like,
yeah.
no,
I mean,
we're getting there. This is an indication of us getting there.
the second they match console specs is when we get good gaming on handhelds. Um, and I think it's possible. Like the Series X is kind of stout com- compared to previous consoles. Like they can really pack the hardware in, and obviously cooling's not a problem because it never ramps up the fan at all. So yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of sad that the Steam Deck, like that, this has kind of turned into a conversation about the Steam Deck because it's what we have. Um, and since I got mine, like basically, I think it was a year after they launched it, which was a couple years ago, I think.
Yeah.
Um, not much has changed really in terms of compatibility in the last 2 years, which is
No.
kind of unfortunate. I wish, I
I mean,
wish,
don't get me wrong, the OLED is nice, but I really don't have a need to get that.
right. Yeah, I don't play enough on my regular Steam Deck to justify, you know, even owning my regular Steam Deck. I I
I like
tried
playing Halo
recently.
on it.
What's that?
I like playing Halo on it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I do enjoy that. It runs well on Halo.
Well, I tried recently to play Game Pass from my Steam Deck cuz I wanted to, and it's kind of like the ideal situation. But there's basically no support anymore. They like a couple months ago support was dropped because I don't know, copyright reasons or something. So I really wish that they would work together with Valve to get it going. Like it'd be a game changer really because Xbox's cloud gaming has improved a lot in like the last few months. So,
Well, they want to bring Call of Duty to the Switch, to Nintendo's platform. They made a 10-year deal with them, so Call of Duty will, one way or another, be available to play on either the Nintendo Switch or the next Nintendo console.
mm, wow.
Chances are, according to the leaks, it's going to be the Nintendo Switch 2.
Yeah.
Something like that. It's going to be called something. Probably, I forgot what the nickname of it was going to be called. It was going to be Nintendo something, because Nintendo likes to do subtitles with their, instead of the numerical
Yeah.
stuff with the numerical
Nintendo
naming with their
Wii.
consoles. Yeah, you get the
Nintendo
Wii,
Wii U.
Wii U, Nintendo Switch, Nintendo GameCube.
I've heard it's gonna be backwards compatible also with all the Switch
It
games.
is.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Well, and that's that's pretty much necessary. They built such a massive catalog of games for the Switch. You know,
I
it's gonna
think
be
what
almost
was it? The,
impossible for that not to be backwards compatible,
what was it? The hardware was going to be a little bit beefier. It's going to be a little bit
yeah,
better than the PS4.
which is kind of dumb.
Well,
Like
I mean, yeah.
basically, it's basically gonna be a Steam Deck,
If it's a
but
little bit better than the Steam Deck in terms of performance, I see that as a win.
yeah, yeah, I agree. Because the Steam Deck's not powerful anymore, and it wasn't powerful when it came out, but it's it's playable, and you have to take into account the fact that you don't have the care and the optimization, and you also have like Proton, which is a compatibility layer. So like all those things add up, and if you have a Switch that is comparable in terms of power to a Steam Deck, and then you have all the optimizations and all the nice to haves, you'll end up with a much better console. And honestly, a lot of people just have a Switch nowadays, right? Like they don't have anything else. They say I all I have is a Switch and that's all I need because I can play it on my TV, I can play it on my gaming monitor, and I can play it wherever I go. And that's pretty big. That's why the Switch is so popular. And that's why people buy so many of them. Like a lot of households have more than one Switch because they have
I love my OLED.
I
It's
know.
it's great.
I know.
I gave mine to my girlfriend, as you know, but
Your
my my
your old one or
my
your OLED?
my old one,
Yeah.
my old one to her.
Yeah. Well, my sister's borrowing mine right now. She's playing Animal Crossing. So
Of
I
course you
haven't
do.
touched it in a long time. But yeah. Handheld gaming, I think it's going somewhere, and I think it'd be really cool if Xbox could partner. Like that's what people want. I think people really want because Xbox, they're capable obviously of making good software. That's basically what Microsoft is used to doing, is making software.
They are a
So
software company. They don't really focus all that much on gaming.
yeah, exactly. So I think they could make really good stuff, and it's not going to, be the end of competition for PlayStation. I don't think so.
Wasn't there, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't there rumors of a handheld Xbox console being in
Yeah,
development?
yeah,
There
that
was.
they confirmed that.
Is it still in development?
Yes, they said it's going to be a while before it comes out. Like I think they said it would be after the next generation
I
console
would
comes out.
love. I really hope it's pretty much similar to that trailer that we just saw, where in terms of like the user interface, everything. I hope it's not a streaming device. I don't want it to be similar to the PlayStation Portal. I think
Yeah,
that thing was a disaster. And I get it. There's a lot of people that were saying, well, if you have your PS5 on in rest mode, you could take your Portal over to your grandmother's house, turn on the Portal, and it'll stream all your games from your PS5. But I'm thinking, okay, what about latency? That's
yeah,
my biggest concern.
yeah,
I prefer a native experience. If you can get it running on, and I'm almost certain that they're gonna somehow squish it down into a handheld device. I'm almost certain that they will.
yeah,
If anything, it may be a little bit less powerful than the Series X,
yeah.
but
Well, some
if they
people
can
have
get it,
speculated that it'll be equivalent to the Series S.
if they can get it to where it's, where I can run games natively on it, then I see that as a win.
Yeah. And I
Because if
think it'll
anything,
probably be like a combination of the two. Maybe you'll have some capability and it'll be able to play some games natively, and then maybe you'll stream some other games. I don't know.
I'm wondering if because they want to work with Nintendo, but at the same time they're trying to compete with Nintendo.
Yeah.
At least that's what my brain is telling me.
Yeah.
Because I see them actually taking the Nintendo route of things, where okay, it has a dock, you could hook it
That
up to
could
the
be cool.
monitor, you could take out your Xbox controller and you could play on it
Yeah.
native.
Yeah.
That's what my brain is thinking. And I'm wondering if it's a way to, for them at least with this handheld console, and I hope it's true, that they're reverting back to like their origins of what made Xbox Xbox,
Yeah.
where it was mainly about the games. And Halo, say what you will about that franchise, but when Halo Combat Evolved came out, as well as Halo 2 and 3, Artie LaBelle, who was the multiplayer director for Combat Evolved, I think he was for Halo 2 as well. I may be wrong,
Yeah.
but he told he mentioned in an interview with a YouTuber that he wanted that game to be a party game where anybody could pick up and play, where it was accessible, easy to understand and play right off the gate.
Yeah.
That Halo, a lot of people say Halo, its origins was a competitive multiplayer. Yeah, it could get competitive, but it definitely was not. That wasn't the original vision.
Yeah.
It was a party game. So I'm wondering if with Xbox and everything with this handheld, I'm wondering if they're trying to bring themselves back to that origin essentially.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That could be
I would
cool.
like to see that. I would love to see that more
Yeah.
than anything. Um, I I- I've been playing on this thing for a while now since Call of Duty came out, and let me tell you, holding the PS5 controller is the worst feeling ever. I cannot for the life of me. I don't know why now. I'm having such a hard time to readjust to the PS5 controller. I used to love the PS5 controller. I get it, it was fat, but the way that I hold controllers and everything, it's, you know how I hold them.
Yeah.
It's
The
weird.
claw grip.
Well, it's not claw, it's, I mean, this is normal, I guess you could say now. I hold it like this now.
Yeah.
So it's kind of corrected. I mean, I got this hook that happens. I don't lay my finger against it. I have to have it hooked.
Oh, weird.
And I know it's bizarre. And that's what I did for my PS5, but now when I hold my PS5 controller, it's like it's hard to hold. It feels too big in my hands. This is nice. I like
I
this.
like this
And so
controller a lot. I think it's one of the best controllers.
I'm gonna stick with it now. I think I'll stick with Xbox for a while.
Yeah.
Um, I still love my PS5. Don't get me wrong. You're great and all, but I'm gonna wait a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I played Ratchet and Clank on the PS5, I had a good time. So, the PS5 is definitely a good console, I think. But yeah,
I think it's good for single player experiences.
I don't think I don't see PlayStation innovating as much as Xbox. Like, they don't think they have as much room to innovate. They're kind of in a comfortable position. Xbox is more in
Because
the yeah.
they don't believe that they have any real competition anymore at this point.
Right.
They think
Yeah.
they're at the top.
There's not a lot of pressure on PlayStation to do very much. So I think
It
Xbox has a lot of room to make big strides in gaming, and I think that it's likely that they'll do a lot of it because they have been making a shift toward more gaming focused, more you know, powerful devices. Like the until recently, the Series X was the most powerful console ever made. So that I mean, and the biggest innovation PlayStation made was in the PS5 Pro, and just look at where that's at. Like $700 console that you know,
so what I'm hearing in regards to that in terms of performance, the frame rate for some games, it's only a very small amount of games,
yeah,
the frame rate is a little bit better.
yeah.
And that's
Well, I've heard it's doubled in some games, which is amazing. It's good. That's
well, that's
what it should
good.
be.
Yeah. But honestly, I it's not even worth it. I'll tell you this, if the PS5 Pro, I think I said this last time, if it was $600, came with the disc drive, and it had a console stand, I
Yep,
probably would have gotten it. I probably would have, and I would have given this console to my girlfriend. I
100%. Yeah,
probably would have done that. But there is no way that I am paying $700 for that thing. Ain't happening.
yeah.
Nope.
Well, I have seen people go out and buy the console, and they're
Yeah, but
happy
those
with
are
it.
tech review companies, though, I think. No?
Say what?
Those are just tech review companies, no? Or is it just
Uh,
actual owners?
a lot of them are YouTubers. Some of them are would-be PC buyers that would prefer to have the streamlined, console experience. So
I'll
I think
tell you
if
this,
anything, it's taking mostly away from the PC market, not the console market. Console
well,
buyers are not willing to spend that much.
from what I've heard, the PS5 Pro's launch performance is actually doing so bad that it's hurting scalpers.
Yes, I did hear about that.
I heard that. I thought that was pretty funny. I thought, yes, this is karma after all
You
these
get what
years
you
of
get. That's what you.
what you get after all this time
Yeah,
for the last 4 years. You guys just keep buying up consoles and selling them for higher prices on
I
eBay.
know, jerks.
It is. They are jerks, but if it really even look, 650 is kind of pushing it, I would say. $650 is kind of pushing it.
Yeah, but it still
But
feels more
700,
reasonable.
it does. It does, but because
It's
I
it's
mean, the
definitely pushing it.
PS3, what was it? The PS3 at launch, what was it? $600 at launch, I think.
Something like that.
I think it was around there. The PS3 Fat.
Yeah. I think if you
So
adjust for inflation and then if you add all the accessories that you need to buy for the PS5 for it to be kind of equivalent, it doesn't add up. And also, back when the PS3 released, Blu-ray was brand new.
it was brand new. It
And they
was
had
brand
they
new.
had to
It was
spend
probably
a crap ton of money to put those Blu-ray players in the PS3. Nowadays, Blu-rays are a dime a dozen, right? So it's just ridiculous that they can't include a Blu-ray player, and it's even more ridiculous that they charge like 60 to 80 bucks for the add-on. That's just dumb. So
It ain't worth it.
yeah,
It's look. It's aesthetically, it's beautiful. I
yeah.
actually do like the aesthetic of the PS5 Pro. It looks like a pro console. It looks like a pro Wi-Fi router.
PS5 professional. You can
But
be a professional gamer.
I really don't care all that much. If it was, let's say, for example, either a year down the road
Yeah,
or 2 to 3 years down the road, if it drops in price to like $600, I may get one.
yeah,
But
maybe.
and this is another thing. Well, 550 I think would be even better.
550 would be much better because then you would actually get it for like $650.
Well, another thing too. This goes back to the whole entire we're marketing a problem by solving it. Essentially, we've
We've created a
we're
problem
now
and we're solving that problem now.
yeah, by marketing it. Yeah.
So yeah, that's
So I do applaud Xbox for not going down this route, I would
yeah.
say.
I think it's nice
Some
that they're
extent.
just sticking with the
Accessibility.
consoles that they had at the beginning of the generation, because that's
Yeah.
what makes sense to me. These consoles don't strike me as underpowered,
No.
especially the Series X. Like the Series S maybe, but like the SSD
Look,
makes up so much ground. It's
yeah.
just massive.
I can't live without an SSD now.
I
It's
know.
crazy. Well, Fortnite on the Nintendo Switch, my girlfriend told me it takes
Yeah.
me like 5 minutes to load into Fortnite on the Switch,
Yeah.
and
You
she was
talked
telling me
about that.
that's on the actual storage, not the external storage, not
Oh
the little
no.
SanDisk thing plugged
That's
in.
the internal
So
storage.
that's the internal
Oh,
storage.
that's
It's
awful.
supposed to. I don't know. I haven't looked at Fortnite on my OLED, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be just as bad.
Yeah. Yeah, the Switch, I mean, the Switch is such a cool console. Um I think it's made by a really innovative company. But I don't like the
They
company.
also like
That's part of the
they also
problem.
like copyright strike everything. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like Nintendo very much and I don't like a lot of their games. They're just not my style. But I think they do a lot to make cool stuff, right? Like a lot of people love Animal Crossing. They love the Mario games. They love everything that comes out of Nintendo, and for good reason. A lot of the games are new and fresh, and they do a good job of keeping things going. But the console by this point is so underpowered. It's I mean they're still making games for it, and the games still run okay, like 30 FPS probably, sometimes 20. But yeah, definitely time for an upgrade there. So we'll see.
I know
Yeah,
they do need a. I don't know if it's going to be next year they'll do a reveal or anything, but
yeah,
usually around the the mid console refresh cycle, that's when Nintendo releases a new product.
yeah, yeah.
But anyways,
Well, do you want to move on to politics?
yeah, sure.
I only have a little bit to talk about, so
That's okay.
but we'll
That's
do our
okay.
disclaimer. If you don't like
Yeah.
politics, here you go. That's general disclaimer. Every week we do the disclaimer. So leave if you don't like politics. Goodbye. We thank you for being here. All right. So, if you look at my screen, uh, it's not 100% necessary, but so far, Donald Trump has nominated a ton of people to be on his cabinet, I guess. Um, so we have Tulsi Gabbard. He just nominated to be Director of National Intelligence. Matt Gaetz. This is a big one. Like, a lot of people hate Matt Gaetz. uh,
Well, I don't mean to interrupt or anything, but I've heard some. I don't know if the allegations are true or not, but there was some stuff in relation to him talking to minors or something like
yeah,
that. I don't know if it's true or not, but
yeah,
I don't really I can't really have that much of a say.
right.
So
Well, yeah,
that's
I
all.
don't know too much about him myself, but I know a lot of people really don't like him. That's what I know. So it's kind of that's been the big controversy for this week. Um, U.S. Attorney General. So yeah. Marco Rubio, Secretary of State. Everybody knows Marco Rubio. Didn't Trump insult him a few times when he was running in 2016? Didn't he call him like Little Marco or something?
Look at those hands. If they're small, something else is small. I guarantee you there's no
Oh
problem.
my
That's what he told
gosh.
Trump. That's what he told Trump.
Oh my gosh. That's funny. Yeah, so I don't know. I think Marco Rubio could probably do it. I mean,
Oh, it was this. It was a sex trafficking investigation.
for Matt Gates.
According to according to the Associated Press.
Yeah.
Under scrutiny by the House Ethics Committee over allegations including sexual misconduct.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know if it's true or not. I can't really say. I haven't looked into it. I can't make up my mind, but
yeah.
I really hope he didn't do any of that stuff.
I just know there's a lot of controversy surrounding him. But I think the biggest qualifying factor for any of these nominations is resistance to corruption. Like, these people should be entirely resistant to corruption, because that's the biggest thing about, I think, this presidency. Um, the Trump and RFK and Tulsi, I think they are kind of outsiders. Like, they don't strike me as people that love big government, that love to make as much money as possible off of um, their political dealings. So
Yeah.
so I think, like, the main thing about this presidency should be that these people are not corrupt, and that they're going to actually get stuff done. Uh,
Yeah, and then you also have what's her name? Is it Wesley Niles? She was part of Ronald Reagan's campaign team and everything.
oh,
She's now the first what was it again? She's the first woman she's going to be the first woman
is this the
as
Ice Queen lady?
yes.
I don't
What's her
actually know her
name?
name.
How do you pronounce Leslie Nile? I don't remember. What's her name?
I have no idea. I don't even remember what position she's getting. It doesn't say on this thing that I have up.
Here she is. Susie Wiles. Sorry, not
S-
Wesley Niles.
Susie
Susie Wiles,
Wiles. Okay,
Chief of Staff. She's gonna be the first Chief of Staff woman.
that's interesting. I mean, I don't really care.
I don't either,
Like,
but as long as she
yeah,
gets the job done, that's all that matters.
yeah. I think it. She was probably picked because she's
The
hopefully
ice.
competent and she
What is
seems to.
it? The ice.
Yeah, ice. I don't know,
Ice
ice queen,
Maiden.
ice
Ice
maiden.
Maiden. It's the Ice Maiden. That's what it was.
Yeah, ice maiden Susie Wiles.
Apparently, I think this is a good sign too. She does not, according to my mom, she doesn't like to speak out on the microphone. She has other people do that for her
Mm,
because she prefers to, I guess, work behind the scenes just to get stuff done. That's
interesting.
what I've heard.
Yeah. I'm not familiar with Elsie Stefanik. Uh, but she's been picked to be UN ambassador. Tom Homan, I think.
The border czar.
The border czar.
He's the person that made AOC mad.
Yeah, this guy's brutal. He is
He is.
insane. He's what did he say? He's been working for 30 years with on the border or whatever. Um,
I don't know. I guess, yeah.
he's just brutally honest. He really hates how I don't know, they haven't really done anything about the border. He says he's seen dead bodies come across the border and it's been a disaster. So I think he will do a good job. He is ice cold and he doesn't care about feelings at all. But obviously he cares a lot about the border and keeping it closed, and for good reason. If you come across the border illegally, the first thing you did in this country was break a law. Like, can we really trust you? Like, the law is you cannot come in illegally because it's not legal to come across the border without being vetted, right? So if the first thing you did was break that law, like, what are you doing? That doesn't speak well to your character. Just come in legally. Or he said if you want to seek like AOC said, seeking asylum is not illegal, and he's like, it's illegal if you don't do it through the ports. Like, you have to do it the legal way, dummy. So yeah, I think he was really controversial this week also. So yeah, him, of course, kind of interesting character. It'll be
Yeah,
interesting to see what he does.
it will.
I mean, that title. What do you think of that title?
Border czar. I think it's funny.
I think it's the best thing ever.
That's the greatest title you could ever give to someone.
Kamala Harris is the border czar right now, and it's just so funny. I like, why czar out of everything else? Like, I don't know. It's just funny to
It's
me.
flashy.
Flashy, yeah. Peter Hegseth, isn't he a Fox News host or something?
I think he is.
Yeah.
He's going to be defense secretary. Michael Waltz, national security advisor. Kristi Noem. So she's no longer, I guess, going to be governor of South Dakota then.
Mm. Yeah, I
She's
wonder how
gonna.
that works. When you
I
get one
don't
of
know.
these positions, do you have to like drop whatever you're doing and
Yeah, that's what Matt Gaetz did. He
huh?
stopped being what was it, a representative, or
I
I
think
think it
he's
was
a
a
senator in
representative.
Florida,
Or
maybe?
yeah, senator, I believe.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm not checking. I don't have the
Mike
energy to.
Huckabee, I've heard of him before. I don't know what he is though. US
He
ambassador to Israel?
he was the former governor of Arkansas, I believe.
Oh. Huh.
I
Was
think
he
it was
did he run for
Arkansas.
president?
He did
Okay.
in 2016.
Yeah. That's where I recognize him from. This guy looks like Mark Zuckerberg.
He does.
I've never seen him before. EPA
Never have
administrator?
I. I haven't either. But I mean, now we also have Robert F. Kennedy, who's going to be part of the Department of Health and what was it,
Yeah.
Education or something like that? I don't
Yeah,
remember.
that'll be good. I think he'll clean house. That'd be good.
He will. And
Mm.
then, of course, you have Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk now are going to be part of the Department of
Government
Government
efficiency.
Efficiency, or Doge for short.
I know. Wait. Oh, I don't have. They had a what do you call it? Ah, like an icon made for them or something. What would you call that? Oh, I gotta find that because it was pretty funny. I
Health
think.
Department, that's what it was for Robert F. Kennedy.
Okay. Yeah, that's. I think that's especially good. Um, and it's kind of nice that Trump has surrounded himself with people that he doesn't completely agree with. I think that would kind of prevent some, you know, one-sidedness. Ah, I really want to find that. I think my dad sent it to us, but I don't. Department of Government Efficiency. Ah, I can't find it. That's so sad. But they had DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, and they had the dog, and it was a cartoon, and it was kind of funny. Like I can't believe it's not going to be an agency. It's not official. It's like an outside organization that's going to be advising, and overseeing. But yeah, I'm surprised that it's actually going to be a thing. It's kind of ridiculous. But you know what this has shown so far is that Trump is keeping his campaign promises. Like he kind of made the promise that the Department of Government Efficiency was going to be a thing. He made the promise that RFK would be overseeing um, health
Health.
and stuff, and maybe a little education. I think, uh, and he didn't make any promises about Vivek, but I think it's cool that he's like I wanted Vivek to be the press secretary. I think that could have been cool. He
That
could
would
have
be pretty cool.
really sweep the floor with wipe the floor with some of the media. That could have been kind of
Well, I
funny.
think him working with Elon Musk on the Department of Government Efficiency would be good.
Yeah,
I think that's good. I think that's fair.
I think they're both pretty smart guys, and I think that they're gonna have a lot to, and they're already getting started. They are not even in office yet, and all of these people that Trump has surrounded himself with are getting prepared, and they're drawing up plans uh, for the second that they get into office, which is crazy to think about. Like I don't know. It always seems like presidents are kind of unprepared when they get into office. They don't
And it
have
takes him and
yeah.
it takes him about 100 days to get settled.
I know. Yeah. And then after that 100 days they maybe do like one thing or like it doesn't seem like they get very much done. It and sometimes they say, "Oh, it doesn't take well, it takes the next 4 years to enact all the plans or make sure get all the economic stuff going." So I don't know. It'll be a pretty big shift, I think, when Trump finally gets into office, because they have all their plans drawn up and it seems like they're kind of ready to go in and blow things up. So I don't know. All these nominations have caused a lot of uproar this week, especially from the left media. So
Well, I think to some extent it is good that it has caused a lot of controversy because I guess a lot of people know that they get stuff done
yeah, yeah, these
one
people
way
they're
or
afraid
another.
because they know that these people are gonna get stuff done. They're gonna
Yeah.
cause some stirring of the pot. Uh, I'm just I'm still awestruck. the the
Well,
the
well, I
presidency.
like to. I like to think that it is awestrucking because you. Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna say this as always, lost for words, because I never thought that this would actually happen.
Yeah, 100%.
I didn't think we would ever live in a time period where we get to see this group of people come together to it really does seem as if we are going to get a lot of changes, a
Yeah,
lot of sweeping changes, especially on the federal government.
yeah. I'm pretty hopeful that they can cut spending because
From
they
what I
spend
heard,
so much money.
my mom told me that I think it is true, of course, because my mom, as always, whatever she tells me for the most part is true, of course. She told me that they are going to like get rid of the what's it called? The education, the board of education,
Yeah,
school board, all
Department of
that stuff.
Education or whatever. I don't know.
Department of Education. They're gonna scrap it entirely. They're just gonna disband it,
Yeah,
dissolve it,
yeah,
and they're going to, you know, give that power back to the states.
yeah.
I think Trump came out and said that. I'm pretty sure he did.
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, for us Californians, I don't know if it'll be any different.
No. Yeah, I'm not
I
sure.
don't think it. I don't think it will.
Well, and we're getting our taxes raised on gas, which is amazing. Just what everybody
Uh,
wanted. They're raising it by like $1. Trump's gonna Trump's gonna lower the price by like $3 so that the tax doesn't mean anything. But isn't that ridiculous? Like gas is what, like $4.50 a gallon right now.
it
So
is, yeah.
so
Well,
add another dollar on that. How much? What percentage is that?
another thing too is that for some reason, I think now to some extent people are starting to realize that battery powered cars and everything aren't really all that efficient for long distance travel or anything.
Yeah,
It's good for getting from point A to point B
yeah,
within that same state or, as like a community vehicle, but a gas powered car is going to do just is it's going to do a lot better for long distance travel. And now they're trying to figure out creative ways to put a tax on the amount of miles you put in each year, like how far you've traveled, which is
yeah.
ridiculous.
Which is crazy. Like,
The law is in trial at the moment. They're testing it out, which means that it isn't in trial and it isn't being tested out. It's going to be in effect one way or another,
yeah,
which is
that's just a
it's
restriction
unfortunate.
of freedom.
It is. It's just another way because you want to know why? Because they are no longer making money at the gas stations anymore in terms of taxes because they subsidize electric cars.
Well, and what I hate about gas taxes and raising them and travel taxes is it's just a tax on poor people. Like
It is.
the rich people can just go out and pay the tax. It doesn't hurt them at all. They can
No,
afford it.
it doesn't affect them. Yeah.
But the poor people or the people that are trying to make it, climb up the ladder can't afford to pay those taxes. It's just crazy how like the people that promise to protect the poor are the ones that are increasing the
Hurting it.
taxes on the poor in that way. So yeah, obviously, yeah. Now you know where I stand on gas gas
Well,
prices.
here another thing too is I don't know why there is this perception that gasoline and diesel are like the only types of fuel that we have in the world. I'm sorry, there's peanut oil. You could probably get an engine to run off of peanut oil. It's possible. We have throughout the 70s, 80s, and earlier than that, hydrogen even.
Yeah,
We have figured out how to get engines to run off of that type of fuel.
yeah.
It's just
I think
now
internal combustion engines are not dead by any stretch of the imagination.
it works. That type of fuel does work with the internal combustion engine. It
Yeah,
does.
they just have
But
to be designed a little differently.
it does. And on top of that, we gas is just more efficient.
Well, it's not
It,
more efficient. It's more energy
it
dense, and
it's
it's
that.
we're not to the point yet where we can do away with them completely and survive economically. It just doesn't make
Well,
sense.
throughout history, for a lot of these companies trying to figure out some type of alternative fuel, it is there. It's just the
Yeah,
fact that it's not popular yet.
yeah,
A lot of people think that there is nothing else other than gasoline and diesel. Okay,
yeah,
what's the alternative to gas and diesel? Oh, battery. Well, I guess we're screwed. No, there's other types of fuel, like the ones that I mentioned before. It's
yeah,
just only it's until now, at least, a lot of these companies are starting to look back at to their previous work and see if they can make any type of innovation off of it. It works. It does work. You
yeah.
can get a car to run off of peanut oil. It's possible. But it's only until now, at least for this period in time, that we are entering an era where we may see all sorts of cars and vehicles run off of different types of just type of fuel.
Well, the biggest thing
Uh,
is infrastructure, right? Like
yeah,
the biggest reason Tesla is the largest electric car company, and by the way, it's also like worth more as a company than all of like Toyota, uh, what was it, Mazda, like a bunch of the other car companies. I think Chevrolet was in there. Um, those combined are worth less than Tesla. And the reason Tesla is so popular is because they have all the infrastructure. They have the supercharging network. They have like I don't know. There's a lot about a Tesla that people like. It's super efficient, super quick. Um, they're fun, right? A lot of people have fun in a Tesla because it can go really fast. Um,
yeah, but I don't like the tablets in the cars. I
Sure,
like the
yeah, they're
mechanic.
not for everybody, especially like I am not one of those people that likes all of my controls centralized on a tablet because that's just
No,
asking to be broke. That's just asking to break. Sorry about that. It's just asking to break um like a couple years down the road. I mean,
I
you've
like the
seen
mechanized stuff.
what's that?
I like the mechanical stuff.
Yeah, 100%. Like I like physical buttons. Obviously, there's a point of diminishing returns with physical buttons. Like you may want some stuff in a screen, but for the most part, like physical buttons are really nice because you can just reach down and turn the knob and it goes. Um, but yeah, that Teslas are really popular for a reason. It's all about infrastructure, and Elon has even said he really does not want subsidies. Um,
No, I don't either. I
yeah,
want freedom
subsidies
of
are just a
choice.
mess. Um, yeah,
I
freedom of
want freedom of
choice and
choice.
like not wasting the government and well our money basically tax dollars on subsidizing cars for other people. That just doesn't make any sense. Just let these products stand on their own, and if they can't stand on their own, so be it. It means that they can't make it yet.
Did
So
you, speaking of that, well, it's not really related. Well, it kind of is, but you probably knew, I, you probably know this a lot more than I do, but I just found out recently that a lot of our vehicles now are gas stations for the fuel mixture. It's 10% ethanol and 90% gas,
yeah,
like pure gasoline.
well,
And I found out that it offers worse gas mileage than regular gasoline, than just 100% gasoline.
that's weird.
Yeah.
I wonder why that
Um,
is. Maybe they're
well,
trying to
here's
get us to
what
pay more for gas.
I told my mom the other day. I said, I think I'm gonna buy that steel pre-mixed
Oh,
gas can because those don't have ethanol in it. It's 100% pure mixed gasoline and oil.
yeah,
The gas can that I have right now, the one that I bought from like Ace Hardware in the steel uh oil mix,
yeah.
that has 10% ethanol. I got 10% ethanol gas at the pump, and
Well,
I'm
I mean,
putting
you'd
that
probably
oil
end
in
up
there.
spending more on the premix stuff than you would on the.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
It probably
If
runs
you
better.
want if you want an engine to last longer,
Yeah.
look, ethanol will fry. It'll start to corrode the internal combustion engine and it'll destroy like the fuel lines and the primer bulb. That's why you see a lot of cracked primer bulbs
Yeah.
for a lot of the machines. And I speak from I guess you could say experience because at work I see a lot of customers that come in saying, "Hey, my primer bulb is cracked on on this weed eater, and I just bought it like 2 years ago."
Oh
And
man.
I ask them, "Well, how often do you use it?" Well, I use it about every other week when I cut the grass, and I think, okay, well that's reasonable, but
Yeah.
I would think that to some extent it shouldn't crack,
Yeah, definitely.
but
Well, they say that modern parts are made of crap because they're all made
they
in
are.
China and then, it's all garbage. Which I think,
But
going back to like the Trump stuff, he
yeah,
really, really, really put an emphasis on bringing back uh,
let's go
companies and
back to fracking.
manufacturing. Well, I mean, he wants to put tariffs on everybody, right? So the big thing is incentivizing companies to work here or to bring their factories back in to the United States and to discourage, manufacturing everywhere else. Which, to be fair, is it's going to make things more expensive, I think, because obviously labor in the United States is much more expensive than everywhere else. But I don't know. I think it could be like a really good thing for quality of items because for the most part, I think that stuff that's manufactured here in the United States is generally of better quality than you know like China. Um,
China.
China, but yeah, I mean,
China.
I think generally it's probably a good thing that we'll have manufacturing back here, and I just wanted to say a little something about the gas stuff. Um,
You
I
knew
think
about that, yeah?
what's that?
You knew about that stuff, yeah?
Yeah, I know that it has ethanol, but they also add like a ton of other additives. It's not pure gasoline. I mean, I guess gasoline the term gasoline um, means it's the purified stuff and it has a bunch of additives mixed in. So, of course you're not just getting pure
Well,
dinosaur juice. You're
I
getting
was speaking of surface value at least, like what
yeah.
you see on the label. That's
Yeah.
about it. I know there's other stuff that goes into it because I mean, when you go to the pump, you see 87, 91.
Yeah.
What's you
Octane.
see 93. Yeah, the octane ratings, of course, and that's just I also found out that has to do with it's supposed to prevent pinging in the
Yeah.
engine.
Yeah.
I found that out recently. Yeah, way to go. I learned something from college. Anyways, um, but the
uh,
thing is, I'll keep it real quick because I know you wanted to say something, but I
no, I'm
found
out of
out
things to
that
say.
but okay. Well, the thing is, I found out that um it's supposed to prevent pinging,
Yeah.
but it's not recommended for certain engines. So
Yeah.
whatever your car manufacturer says,
That's what
just
you
for the
should
sake
use.
of longevity, just use it.
Yeah.
I get it. You want to put in 87 because it's the cheapest option, but
Yeah.
you would be doing a huge disservice to your engine by only you just got to read what the manual says, what it recommends.
Right. Well, and
But
if it recommends the lower quality stuff, then don't put in the higher
then
quality
use
stuff because it
then
doesn't
use
make
the
a
lower
difference.
quality. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, my mom had a Volkswagen with a turbo and my dad always put the higher octane stuff in it because it's a high strung turbo. I mean, and it says, "Oh yeah, you can use the lower quality stuff, but you could also use the higher quality stuff, and that'll give you 10 more horsepower." So, he always
Yeah,
put in the higher quality stuff.
it also increases horsepower as well to some
Yeah.
extent. And all I don't know if it's true or not, but well, from the lectures that I saw the other day at least, for some vehicles, depending on the octane rating, it can increase horsepower. Like 87 has somehow a higher horsepower rating than
I
something
think
of
for the most
98.
part they've got like sensors in there, and then when you put the higher octane stuff in, the sensor realizes that that's what you're using, and it'll give you a little boost because it can afford to.
Yeah,
But I don't think it actually has much to do with the fuel. I think, you know.
I don't think. Well, what I do know is that the fuel itself doesn't really. Well, the octane rating doesn't dictate the gas mileage. I know that. It's just
Yeah.
the type of mixture or the additives in the fuel that dictates the gas mileage. What I do know is that ethanol has does have a little bit of water in it.
Mm, yeah.
It does,
Yeah.
and that's supposed to it claims to help clean the engine, but in actuality, it really doesn't do anything in regards to cleaning the internals all
Mm,
that much. It can clean the cylinder walls, but when you have water in the cylinder walls, that's not great, I would say.
mm.
But
Interesting.
I look, I may or may not be I may be wrong, and if I am, that's totally fine. I'm willing to learn, but that's what I learned at least.
Yeah.
And I may or may not have learned right or wrong from that, but I mean, it is kind of I'm a little bit worried now, at least to some extent. I know my coworkers say, "Oh, it's fine if it has a little bit of ethanol in it. It's fine because it has the oil mix in it. You can it'll work just fine with your backpack blower." I
Mm,
want that thing to last.
yeah.
And I've stored it properly. What I did to store it properly, of course, was drain all the gas from the tank, start it up, and just let it run until it runs out of gas.
Mm,
And that's it. It's completely dry right now. My
interesting.
only biggest fear is the diaphragm hardening in the carburetor. Because if the diaphragm hardens, then it's not going to get any gas, and then either I would have to go to work, buy a new diaphragm, or just straight up buy a new carburetor, and I really don't want to because the carburetors are like 70 to $150. So
This is making me think, like we still have Model Ts around. How do those things still run?
Model Ts, oh,
Yeah.
the Ford Model Ts.
Yeah. Like they're 100 years old at this point. And
Well,
based
those
on what
had
you've told me, like these power tools, they don't last much more than like 5 years if you use them kind of somewhat improperly. Like these Model Ts undergo so much, like they've undergone so much abuse in the last 100 years.
well, I think it has to do with uh just the proper maintenance surrounding it
Yeah.
because you couldn't back then, at least to my own knowledge, you can't run that. You could if you wanted to. You could run it into the ground
Yeah.
like any car, but a lot of people back then, when the Model T came out, that was a big deal because there was a huge wage increase for people who worked at Ford, and it would incentivize them to actually buy a car.
Yeah.
And I think because of that new type of technology or a way of traveling, it forced people to actually have a deep understanding of their cars, and it there was just
You think they
I
just
don't
did a
know.
better job maintaining them because of that?
Well, another thing too is another example that I can think of. I guess you could say it kind of parallels between it is there's a huge difference now. A lot of people don't know what choking is
Oh yeah.
for like gas powered equipment.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that. They're just used to pulling the recoil starter and then it
Right.
starts up on any mower. Oh, you
Yeah.
prime it a couple of times and then you pull it.
Yeah. Well, some of them have auto
Well,
choke now, so
that's what I meant, auto choke. And a lot of people aren't accustomed to that. And whenever they hear that type of phrasing, I know parents of the 70s and 80s and 60s, of course, they know what that means. But for our generation, at least,
yeah.
they're dumbfounded. There are people that I've met at work who are like in their 40s and 50s, and they don't even know what that is.
Mhm.
And I have to show them how to ensure proper maintenance, and they ask me, and I think it's good that they ask because they care.
Yeah.
about their equipment because, duh, in California, the gas powered equipment is now banned,
Yeah.
or the sales of it is banned. But
Well, with the Trump
um,
presidency, do you think that you'll see any change as far as um, the return of gas powered equipment? Um, I would say like probably just in general. I mean, around the United States, I can't imagine that because I don't think we've seen the effects of not having gas powered equipment in California yet. I think it's going to take a couple years for people are going to start to need replacements and they're going to switch over to electric and it's just not going to work out because the battery technology is just not there yet, especially for landscapers and so forth.
well,
So,
that and the engine blocks are no longer being manufactured.
yeah,
You can't you can't buy engines, just gas powered engines anymore at this point. So what we have left is what we have left. If you
right.
really wanted to, if you really, and I mean really want to, keep your engine running, of course, or just if you still want to use gas but your thing is completely toast,
Hmm.
you could go to Reno or
Yeah,
go somewhere outside of California, buy from a steel dealer, eco dealer, and just say, hey, I want this engine block. But I don't even know if they require, like, oh, your address and everything. So, oh, if you live in California, we can't sell that to you. So I wonder if
nah,
that's another workaround that they have
nah.
to preventing that. But maybe not, probably not.
Well,
But
what I've been seeing, I think, is kind of around the world, we're seeing a political shift, right? Um, in the United States, almost 3 million more people voted for Trump for the Republicans than did for the Democrats. That's pretty big. That's a massive shift, especially from the last election. Like Biden won basically in a landslide in the last election, and now Trump won in a landslide.
yeah,
Um, and it's not just in the United States. Like in Germany, there's been a right wing party on the rise significantly. And in Canada, Justin Trudeau, he's up for re-election this upcoming year, I think.
I think it
Um,
was October of 2025. I think
yeah.
that's
Uh,
what I heard.
and
He's
a
been in
lot
office
of
now
Canadians
9
are not happy with him because things are getting so expensive. So I'm wondering if we might see the same in California. Like California went significantly more red in this election than it has in the previous few elections. Um, so I'm wondering if we're going to see the return of gas powered uh, tools in California. Do you see that as a possibility?
So, to give you a little bit of a history, I guess, behind it, this law was put in effect a couple years back, and then they lifted it because they realized how economically dependent a lot of people are for gas.
Yeah.
Then they reinstated it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so far, at least, it seems like it's staying in effect as of now.
Yeah.
So, it's challenging to get your hands on gas-powered equipment
Right.
for us, for where I work at least, it's we still have gas powered stuff. We still have plenty.
Yeah.
But as you know, over time we're gonna run out.
Yeah.
We are.
100%.
Eventually we will.
Yeah.
That's unless, this ban gets uplifted.
Yeah.
And I
Do you think
really
that's
hope
going to
it does.
happen?
I
Like I guess
I would
Newsom
like to see it
isn't.
happen.
Yeah, yeah. Isn't Newsom up for re-election next year or 2 years from
Yes,
now?
I thought there was term limits for governors, is there not?
Uh, ooh, I don't actually know.
He's been in office now for almost 8 years at this point. He has until 2026 to finish his term.
Okay, so yeah, so
So by then he'll leave and announce for presidency. I already know that. I look, I'm gonna call it. He's gonna run for president. Without a
yeah,
doubt.
I
He
think
will
he
make
he would have run for president this election if Kamala hadn't been endorsed by Biden.
I know,
Oh,
but
speaking of which, we should talk about Biden's meeting with Trump.
oh yeah, I think he voted for him.
That's what
I still,
everybody's saying right now.
I legit think he voted for him, and I said this weeks before all this
Yeah,
nonsense.
yeah. It was so funny, dude. So they met up. They were together for like an hour and a half. Trump was,
He was smiling more than Trump.
I know, Trump was kind of deadpan. But Biden, he was elated. He looked
He was doing,
so happy.
he was doing the Andrew Tate
Yeah,
hand
he
thing or
was like,
whatever.
"Welcome back, dude. Welcome back." And it was crazy to see. Biden looked so happy.
I know he did.
And then you see the clips of Kamala with Jill Biden, Biden's wife, and
Yeah.
Jill does not look happy about Kamala at all.
You know,
Like,
she was wearing red on election day.
yeah, I remember that,
She
dude.
usually wears blue.
I know. Like, I'm beginning to be convinced that they
I
voted for Trump also.
I wonder if when Biden leaves, I wonder if he would make an announcement saying, "Yeah, I voted for him."
Yeah, I doubt it, but that would be so funny if he did.
It
Oh
would
my
be
gosh.
great. I think that would be great if he did.
And it's like the weirdest timeline, right? This is just the strangest
All
timeline.
this happened before GTA 6.
I know. The GTA 6 is going to come out and everything is going to be different.
I want to see Elder Scrolls 6 so badly.
I
It's
think
never gonna happen.
I think
It's Bethesda's next project. They're working on it right now, but
yeah. Well, 2016 to 2020 were completely different. Completely different from 2020 to 2024. Completely different. Like the vibes were different. The economy was different. We had COVID. It was crazy. Completely different. I think the same thing's gonna happen. 2020 to 2024 and 2024 to 2028. I think those two are gonna be completely different.
yeah.
In terms of economy, in terms of like everything. I think everything's gonna change, and it's gonna be pretty big. Especially with the magnitude of the victory that the Republicans secured in this election. So I don't know. That's basically all I have to say so far for this election, for this podcast, I guess.
Yeah, I think I'm done for the night.
I'm
I
done.
got nothing to say for the podcast.
This is it. All
I think I
right.
might play Black Ops for a little bit. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. Maybe I'll join you.
If you want, I mean, don't you have to exercise tonight or something?
No, I already did it.
Oh, you already did? Nice. I already got all my homework done.
Yep.
So,
Epic,
yeah,
epic.
if you want, yeah, we can totally.
See, this is what I've been saying. This is the fun part about Xbox. Just play
I know,
together.
because I know. I look forward to, well, I look forward to doing this with you, of course, and then I look forward to having having a good time on video games.
Of course, and I as well. Yes. Well, as always, we thank you for joining us on the podcast. We're gonna go play some Call of Duty. We're gonna have some fun.
We're gonna go play COD.
And of course, if you made it this far, we appreciate you being with us. Go ahead and drop a comment down in the comments section. That'd be very helpful. That, as we always say, boosts the algorithm.
Yes, it does. I can't
And
wait till we get sponsors. I think that'd be great.
can you imagine?
It'd be great.
That's gonna
Hey,
be different.
Ridge Wallet, if you're watching this, Ridge Wallet, please. I like your stuff. I think it's
Do
cool.
you have
I
one?
want one. No, I don't, but I would like one.
Yeah. Yes, if you are a sponsor, Nelson would be happy to
I
sing your
would.
praises. So,
I would. I would.
any final remarks before we head out?
Manscaped, sponsor me. I have your product. I love it. It's
Oh
great.
my gosh.
It's a great grooming product. Anyways,
We're not even
that's all
getting
I got
paid to
for
say
today.
this, man.
I know.
All right. Well, have a good one, and we'll see you later. This is Logan, and
This is Nelson.
yes, have a good one.
Have a good one. Bye bye.